This is Russell Fagan, aka Sinistral Rifleman, and this is my Desert Brutality 2019 Stage 4 match video. First up is my Classic Division run during the staff match, proofing out the stages. Classic Division is firearms made before 1986 and replicas thereof. Rifles must have iron sights and magazines are limited to 30 rounds. Pistols must have iron sights and magazines are limited to 15 rounds. This stage begins with the shooter engaging 5 clay targets. The rifle is only loaded with 5 rounds. If the shooter misses any of the clays, they can make them up later with their pistol. Once the rifle has been shot empty and cleared, the shooter will move to the next bay and retrieve their magazines off of the prop wearing the plate carrier. You may have noticed at the beginning of this video that I labeled this as the 5th stage shot. This is my second run through on this stage. During the first run through, we determined that having an additional bay worth of targets and physical challenges to deal with was too much to reasonably complete under par. So I've already done this stage once on the harder mode and parred out about 3/4 of the way through it. With that section of the stage removed, I'm now doing it again a second time. This double steel target prop, nicknamed Lieutenant Dan, weighs about 80 pounds and must be carried by the shooter back to the start area and clear the fault line. I am going to point out for all the internet range safety officers that once a rifle has been shot empty and cleared, it's treated like a stick, and muzzle orientation does not matter for the purpose of the stage until it is loaded again. A word of advice: regardless of your physical condition and how fast you can run, do not go at full speed on these stages. Getting there quicker only to be gassed out and have an unstable sight picture does not help you. Keeping in mind your own physical limitations and abilities, moving at a consistent pace that allows you to quickly get your rifle into action, acquire the sights, and send the shots in short order is preferable to going too quickly and then gassing yourself out and missing a lot. The shooter now has to take the mortar tube back to the start area, finish on 2 pistol steel targets, and clean up any clays that remain. Going back to what I was talking about earlier, for the purposes of these kind of stages, efficiency and consistency matter more than raw speed. As I enter the shooting area, the range officer tells me that only 2 steel remain. I ask him if the clays are good. He tells me yes, they're good.
2 steel.
Clays good? Yes.
I move to engage the steel targets. After engaging them, I do a quick scan of the clays to see if they are in fact all neutralized. Scan and assess applies as much in an action shooting environment as it does in the real world. I'm not sure how this would have been handled, but it's worth it to take the time to engage versus a potential 60-second penalty. I was 5th out of 22 shooters in Classic Division on this stage. 17 of us completed the stage without parring out or incurring penalties. Now for my Armored plus P Division run. For review, Armored plus P Division competitors must wear a plate carrier, helmet, and all their ammunition for the entire match on their person throughout every stage. Firearms and equipment are unlimited. I don't shoot this stage any differently, so now's a good time to point out that I've been suffering from tendonitis in my left arm associated with the repetitive motion of drawing my handgun and shooting it. I further aggravated it on stage 8 of the staff match, which I had to shoot twice. This will come into play later in this video. You need to be prepared for anything at Desert Brutality, including the anime crossplayer on your squad being on the stage when it's your turn. Time to assert dominance.
Be gone, thought!
Now that the range is cleared, back to commentary. Because of the tendonitis issue I'm suffering in my left arm, I changed the way I carry the Lieutenant Dan prop. I lift it over my head and place it on top of my helmet, balancing it like one might a water jug on top of their head. This technique allows me to carry it more easily without straining my dominant arm. Cheered on by my comrades, I give the Lieutenant Dan a good throw. The group dynamic at Desert Brutality is one of the things that really sets it apart from other action shooting competitions. Everyone is there having a good time together and supporting each other through the suffering. This time my bolt is locked back, so the rifle is easier to load. After I retrieve the mortar tube is when this stage really feels like it starts to suck. At this point I'm pretty worn down after setting up the match, shooting the staff match, running a class with 50 new shooters, then shooting all 3 previous stages of the match today. But I know if I keep going at my own consistent pace, I'll make it through the stage under par and be ready to shoot accurately when I make it to the engagement area. This time the RO does give me accurate information regarding the 1 clay remaining.
Center clay and
Steal.
This time, as soon as I enter the shoot house, I draw and make ready so I can engage as I get to the doorway. I was 6th out of 24 Armored Plus P Division shooters on this stage. 17 of us completed the stage under par with no penalties. This is another win for the Armored Plus P Division version of myself. I believe the main differences were that in Armored Plus P I was more consistent in my overall movement speed, I wasted less time retrieving magazines, and I wasted less time on that final pistol clay. While these stage runs may have looked slow and painful, they were actually pretty decent. I was 85.6% as fast as the Armored Plus P Division winner, and 83.62% as fast as the Classic Division winner. Consistency and efficiency allow me to keep up with people that are more physically fit and faster than I am. How will this work out in the end? Stay tuned for all of my Desert Brutality 2019 match coverage. I'll be showing all the stages in sequence, both the good and the bad. Thank you for watching.